Undisputed has some issues, and here is a small demonstration of that issue. Initially, this doesn't look that bad until you realize it's still the first round. I've only thrown an uppercut and a hook, and if you look at the right side of Sugar Ray Robinson's head meter, it's almost completely drained. This in itself is an issue. Undisputed was the title that was supposed to save the community from the monotony of UFC, Undisputed, and Fight Night Champion. And once Undisputed Early Access came out, we all rejoiced, and online is where we all went. Now, for as good and how mind-boggling the presentation for this game can be, sadly it has its dark side. Now, what you're seeing on screen is two different situations of me online getting shadow punched into oblivion. Now, I understand that this is nothing new to the general Undisputed community. We've been getting shadow punched since Beta 1. But when you couple that with the fact of the uppercuts and left hooks and understand that we got to those two situations from that, this kind of explains the current state of the game. Now, when everything is working just fine, Undisputed can be a massively fun experience. But for most people, when you run into the outrageous amount of scumbaggery going on online, plus cheaters, it's just not fun. And it ultimately makes people want to quit and just walk away. Early Access Undisputed is in a pretty bad place. Punches don't seem to land. Other punches that shouldn't hit you do. Heads turning the wrong direction. And the list really can go on and on. But it is in early access. And because of that, the community has really high expectations still for what this game can be. And that transformation starts here in the patch notes. Now, there were two things in these latest patch notes that were of particular interest, and I'll explain. Increased base flash knockout chances ultimately increases luck in your game. The reason that is problematic is because the more luck that you have built inside of your system ultimately reduces the skill gap between players. And secondly, and maybe most notably, increased damage dealt by hooks to the head. This just screams bad in an already heavy hook spam meta. When there is a boost to that tool, why would I ever stop using it? So putting all of that into perspective, you literally can cut your brain off and still get a win. I displayed that earlier in the video. Also, due to the lack of having to determine between risk versus reward, the game feels less engaging. Add that on top of other issues like stamina and power adjustments that still need to be made, and you right now have an extremely casual experience. So here's what I think we need. And for as simple as it sounds, I know it's probably more difficult to implement, but overall, the game needs to be more complex. The more decisions that you and your opponent are forced to make, then the more engaging the game itself actually is. And I understand that also raises the difficulty level, but sometimes difficulty can be fun. The one thing that sets competitive gaming apart from everything else is having something in front of you that you feel like you have to dedicate hours of time into honing your skills to set yourself apart from everyone else. Then taking all of that time that you spent in the hyperbolic time chamber, honing your craft, to then theory crafting brand new strategy and new tech. But if there's too much luck built into the system, then all of my time can then feel wasted. No one's asking to completely go undefeated. Just allow me the opportunity to learn from my loss.